Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Prog Report podcast reaction episode. Joining me is Victor Giol. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Doing terrific. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. So Vic is new to the monthly reaction episodes we've been doing, but we're mixing it up with different guests, checking out some new tunes. I got 4 new tracks. If you've been keeping tabs on these episodes, we feature 4 new singles, videos, what have you, from upcoming albums or stuff that was recently released. And just instead of doing a reaction video on one thing, we do it on 4 songs and try to just keep more of it up to date and keep you guys aware of some new stuff. Just one note, if you haven't seen, we did a cool podcast with Mike Portnoy, who's back again. Our album's turning 50, albums that were released in 1974. And that's doing really well and a really cool episode if you want to check it out.
It surprised me how good 74 was. It's one of those things where you sort of forgot about a couple of things, and it was cool what Mike brought into the mix. So that was well done.
70, so we did 3 of them. We did 72, 73, and 74 with him now, and we thought we're gonna probably end up doing 75, but that's when it starts to really become a bit more classic rock heavy rather than just the big prog ones are sort of done by 75. There's still stuff coming out, but the major ones, you know, your early Genesis, Pink Floyd, all that is prior to those years. But anyway, yeah, and there's some more Wheel of Prog things coming up and all sorts of things always on the website and everything, so keep up to date on all that stuff. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started here. Couple new things. First one that I'm going to pull up here just dropped like recently, just a few days ago. It's a new one from Leprous. The track is called Atonement. The album is called Melodies of Atonement, comes out on August 30th. You know, to me, well, I have already heard this one. I don't know if you've checked this one out yet, Vic. Have you heard it?
I have.
All right, let's go ahead and check it out now then.
One of my favorite vocalists of all time.
He's great. And amazing drummer.
Yes. Bard.
Turmoil, empty faces in a whirlpool, removing pity with a sharp tool.
I mean, the whole vibe is them, you know, that kind of dark vibe, melancholy.
Sour, crumble, ready to devour, broken pieces of desire. Wanted freedom, but all it got was blame. You always been chase.
It takes a while for the chorus to come into this song, which is kind of different.
Love the dynamics.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a little bit more because we get to the chorus now.
Lost in the realize that it's all because of you. The final lie, the last denial. Realize that it's all because of you. Cannot deny you're standing up. And again, it's all because of you.
Wow, that took 2 minutes and 30 seconds to get to that chorus. That's really long.
You know, seeing them live a couple of times, live, they are far more powerful than anything you can anticipate. And, you know, this sounds powerful already on this. It's interesting. Just a really abstract. When I look at this, Robert Palmer, "Addicted for Love," with the ladies dancing behind him.
A
There were a
little
couple
bit,
of parts
yeah.
where it was kind of like that, but obviously entirely different mood. But man, his voice and their power just, they just keep pushing it. The
Yeah,
interesting thing,
I was reading the comments. Sorry, but where the comments on the video, a lot of people are referring that, saying that it sounds like older Leprous from the earlier records. I don't know if I hear that exactly. It is heavy, um,
it's
but
it's
I
a
don't know. It doesn't
heavier
sound too different to me.
it's a heavier mood like the older albums, but if with a more modern instrumentation with a lot more electronica in it. Their older stuff, they tended to be more in the headspace of like Haken, with more distortion guitars all the time, just
Yeah.
establishing that kind of groove. But yeah, no, this is their sound. They continue to move in a direction where they sound just like themselves. There is no questioning, and it's not only because of his vocals. It's also just because of their style and just their dynamics. Every single song takes you from, it's almost like dubstep, really soft, and all of a sudden when the beat drop is coming, and they just blow you away. So it's
Yeah.
really cool. It's
No,
cool.
it's really cool. It's a killer song. Again, the album comes out on August 30th, and stay tuned for more singles, I'm sure, like always. Okay, so I think this next one is going to be cool. You're going to dig this one. This always happens to me. They move the buttons. Okay. So this is a duo that just released a first single. They have some older music, but for the purposes of being signed, they just signed to Inside Out Music. And have released one track. There's no album coming yet or anything like that. It's just a sort of a signing single that they put out. It's called "Don't Go Too Early." These guys are from Italy. This is the vein of like the modern guitar shred fusion guys that are out there. The Polyphias, the Plinies, all
Okay.
that kind of Animals as Leaders, all those kind of things that are out there. It's in that vein. It is bonkers crazy.
Well, I was going to
The
say
brothers.
I'm trying to count the dots on the pickup there, and it looks like there's 8.
Yeah.
So 8-string guitars.
Yeah, I think
Interesting to
it's an
see
eight
how they.
string.
Very
And
cool.
yeah, so it's two brothers from Italy, Federico and Niccolo Vessi. I think that's how you say it. And yeah, I think they're twins. They really look alike. And yeah, I mean, check it out. It's pretty wild stuff and very cool. And I like the aesthetic. The video's high quality. The whole thing is like really well done. And that bass is insane.
Wow.
I honestly don't even know how you play it.
A little bit of fusion. Sounds like there may be a sampled keyboard behind it, almost like Art Echo type thing. But wow.
The tone is killer.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I could listen. It's 7.5 minutes. It just, we could go on listening to that forever.
Well, I tell
But
you
yeah,
what,
that's killer. What do you think of that?
a great balance between just the polyrhythmic, odd time signatures, thumping of the 8-string and the bass, but such tasteful melodic soloing over top of it is really well done. My question are these, do they have a full band? Is this a session drummer? Is this a programmed drum machine? Because they don't show any of the other musicians.
It might say in the description of the video, so you could check it out. I don't remember
Okay.
how the drumming is done on this. We'll have to look at it.
Okay.
The band, for for their purposes is the two of them.
Okay.
It does sound like program drums to me.
Gosh, these kids
but I'm not
nowadays
sure.
can sound like a programmed drum machine. They're just so good. But this is really good
That's true
stuff.
too.
This is really good stuff. It's some fusion tendencies in there, which I really like. That's in my wheelhouse, and looking forward to seeing what these guys are going to do. And I'm also checking out their shirts. They're rather extravagant as far as their patterns. So interesting
Well, I
visual
like their
there.
whole thing. I mean, they seem very youthful, very
Yeah.
kind of modern. And again, I like the way the whole thing is done. It looks cool. It feels cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of promise there. I think it's worth something to keep an eye on. Asymmetric Universe, and the song is out on streaming, and check out the video and all that stuff. It's everywhere.
Italy's cranking out some good stuff. So very cool.
Always. Okay, coming up next is something that I've been very fond of. This album, this group, it's a guy.
Yes.
Return to Earth is basically it's the brainchild of one guy, Robin Peachy. There's a producer who kind of helps out with instrumentation, Paul Johnson, I believe. But Robin has been doing Return to Earth for a few years now. We first became aware of them with the last album, Fall of the Watcher, which was really good. And this new album is called Stalagmite Steeple. 6 songs, very proggy, kind of atmospheric. If sort of the slower end, the moody stuff of a Steven Wilson, early Porcupine Tree, that kind of vibe. It never gets really fast or up tempo, but it's dark, and the vocals are gorgeous. The melodies are gorgeous. It's a beautiful record. It's and I love it a lot. And I think this song is amazing. This has been one of my favorite songs of the year easily so far. So I wanted to make sure to feature it on here. Have you checked this out yet?
I have, and it's the Steven Wilson that I fell in love with way back when. I love that sort of vibe and everything else, and it's so well done. So well done.
Yeah.
So,
and you know what? It may have that influence, but I think it very much has its own unique take on it. And when you listen to the album as a whole, it's really 6 nicely put together tracks that are all slightly different, and it's a nice flow. It never gets boring. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out, I'm gonna play some of this here. I also really like the artwork. It kind of fits for what you're about to be listening to, I feel like.
They take your money to watch you.
This is a great voice.
Yeah.
Like a ghost, you walk the halls, waiting patiently for something more, but knew there wasn't much more left to come.
Nice piano.
This part is so good.
As time escapes from me, this dark morality. Take your medicine and let you be the places that you've seen. This dark morality.
Very much sounds like a Steven Wilson guitar part.
You can almost picture Guthrie Govan.
Yes.
Endless waiting for the moment. When you walk
Great groove.
through the door.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I'm gonna keep it going because there's another part I want to get to.
Wake the sleeper that defies binds us all. You wish that you could stay for so much more. Take your pills and float above the sea. It's time to skip.
I want to go a little bit later here because there is a part where it starts to pick up and it gets a little like kind of heavier. It's a nice contrast to the beginning of the song, you know? Yeah, anyway, it's the lyrics are about old people in old folks' homes that during COVID couldn't have any visitors and just ended up dying alone because nobody was able to see them or care about them. So it's really, really kind of depressing.
It does.
You
It
know,
does.
hey.
Well, listen, it does fit right in with the kind of somber mood that it sets up, and I love the dynamic build. Is like the old bolero. You start out very simple, keep your rhythm the same, and then it just builds and builds, and it climaxes. But it does paint a very somber dark mood. But it's well done. It's well done.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
To me, like, I love that there's these artists like this guy that are out there that just are making these amazing pieces of music out on their own in their homes or wherever. And that we get to like talk about these songs and find out about them and show it to other people. And I love that, I love that. I love getting to do this kind of stuff for bands like this, So yeah, this is a favorite, and I hope people give it some time and check it out.
it's well worth it. It's well worth it. If you like music that has some depth to it, I think this fits right in.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so last but not least, we haven't talked about this guy maybe on one of these in a while, if at all. But you know him. You've heard of this guy before.
Oh,
And
goodness.
yeah, we're going to go revisit an old favorite, Mr. Neal Morse, who has an album out called Late Bloomer, exclusively on his Waterfall streaming app, which has a bunch of like all the music he's ever done, a million albums from all the bands he's ever been on is on the app. If you're not subscribed, maybe it's something that interests you. I guess this album will be released eventually on CD or vinyl. I don't know when or if officially. But this is the one song that's been made available on YouTube. It's called Already There. This is a singer-songwriter record. It's more organic, instruments, organs, pianos, regular 4-minute songs, not a lot of proggy stuff. But, if you like earlier albums like this that he's done, the Virgilio Morse Jennings albums that he's done, this is along those lines. It's always really good. Neal doesn't write bad songs, I think. So, yeah. Have you heard this one yet?
I do have Waterfall, and I've been playing it because I was curious once they announced that it was coming out. So I have heard it, and it's full disclosure, Neal can sing childhood rhymes with his music, and I'd be listening to it intently, but also
Yeah, so let's check this out.
And he actually just stopped by, did a couple of almost backyard shows in South Florida, and we had our friend Bosco playing with him in a couple
That's
of
right.
songs, and so it's his way of kind of reconnecting with the individual fan. So always good to see him doing this stuff.
Yep. Let's go ahead and play this if you haven't heard it. Worth listening to.
Somebody told me I should move on. I needed a change, that's what they said. A change is gonna do you good, that's what Sheryl Crow says. I told him, well, you just go on ahead, 'cause I'm already
Great groove.
Ready
Great
just
keyboard.
to hitchhike down the road. Just give me some almond brothers and some caffeine brew, and I'll show you just how far this valley boy can go. 'Cause
Love the choir. Yeah.
so I don't have to travel. You know
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. And you know, for anybody that's going to comment, that's not prog. I mean, you know, we always feature solo music by artists that are prog. Neal is always going to be featured on our channel with whatever stuff he does, and
Oh yeah.
like other people. So you know, it's all good.
It's
You
just
can't go wrong.
the amount of music, and if you don't have Waterfall, the streaming service, the amount of music that's in there that's from him, and it's all his different projects and singer-songwriter stuff and his proggier stuff. It's just this man just rolls out of bed and trips over one of his own new songs, just like, oh, I've got this. And
He's always writing music, always.
and even the quote unquote simple stuff, it's just so well done. And with Neal, since it all comes from the heart and it's all so genuine, I think that comes across well. And take it for that. You know, he's exposing himself to share all of himself. And you know, that's what endears him to his fans. Who wrote the review? Was this Nick Prog Nick that wrote the review
Nick
for this?
wrote a review on this. Yeah, it's up
Yeah,
on the
that was
website now. Yeah, so 4 really cool songs.
absolutely.
You know, continues to be some great music out there. So hopefully you'll check these out. We'll keep doing these from time to time. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. You can follow us on our podcast, on all our socials, progport.com. I've been telling more people about our Spotify playlist. It's the new progressive rock playlist on Spotify, which features all these kind of songs and a whole bunch more. Yeah, it's over 5,000 subscribers on that, which is pretty cool for
Very cool.
a playlist for our channel.
Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, man, thanks for joining me on this.
Thanks for having me. This was a blast, and I can see why Kyle and Dan always enjoy doing this kind of stuff. So thanks for having me.
All right, guys. Hey, we'll see you later.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, thanks for checking out the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on all our socials and progport.com, and we'll see you all again real soon. Thanks.